beautiful muses, and welcome back to Cosmo Muse Tarot. This reading is going to be all about your February 2023, so some outlook and forecast here. And like usual, we are going to be picking 4 of these I-Ching cards to make our different piles to choose from. And I do tend to, if I pick one of these that we've had in the past couple months, then I tend to like to discard that and get some fresh energy going. So we'll see what comes out. Ooh, feeling this. Retreat, I feel like we've had that. Pretty sure. Yeah. Harmony. Ooh. These are shuffling very oddly this time. We've got Standstill for pile 2. The Well for pile 3. And Revolution for pile 4. Okay, give me just 1 second, put these aside, and let's take a little closer look at these for you guys so you can get in tune with your piles. Okay, so pile 1 is hexagram 11, Harmony, Earth above, Sky below. Pile 2, we've got Standstill, 12th hexagram, Sky above, Earth below. So these are a flip of each other. That's very interesting. Earth above, Sky below, Sky above, Earth below. That's kind of fascinating. And then the third pile, we've got the Well, 48th hexagram, Water above, Wind below. And then the fourth pile, we've got 49 hexagram and Revolution. Lake above, Fire below. Okay, for those of you that like the breath work that I lead to help you to get in tune with your pile, we'll do that now. So feel your feet on the ground, that stability underneath you, that support. And then take a deep breath in, suck that air up all the way to the space between your eyebrows. Suck in a little more, hold, and then out loud exhale, letting it all out. And this opens up your crown chakra as well as that pressure at the third eye ignites that. So inviting in both higher self and inspiration. Okay, if you need more time to fill into your February pile, you can hit pause here, and then when you're ready, the timestamps are in the descriptions and you can jump straight to your reading. Just a disclaimer here, not disclaimer, an update, I guess. I used to do with these monthly readings, the little mini readings for each sun sign before we got into the piles that were just a few minutes long, and I have moved that aspect of this reading onto I have a Substack now, which is a platform online for, where you can put in writings and audios and chat features to do some community stuff. So if you want to get in touch with those little mini by sign readings as well as some more in-depth astrology, you can find that on my Substack, which if you go to Substack and just search for Cosmo Muse, you should be able to find that pretty easily. I will try and put if I remember, a link in the descriptions as well to get there. Okay, yeah, pause if you need, and I will see you in your readings, starting with pile 1 and the card Harmony. All right. Hello, pile 1. Welcome to your February reading. For you guys, you picked Harmony as your cornerstone card in these monthly readings. This represents sort of the environment generally that you will feel around you this month. So circumstances, events, environment, the happenings generally of February for you, or kind of that underlying tone that's sort of creating the atmosphere, you could say. So this is a really beautiful card in the I-Ching, but every card has, I like to look at the spectrum of what a card brings and try to sort of show where we probably will start in the month because of this and where we have the potential to go on the high note of this. So the potential shadow of this Harmony card, it's a very, very feminine, right-brained, associated card where the yin and the yang are flipped, where usually like earth and water are sort of the energies that are usually below on the hexagram, whereas like sky and trying to think of what are some of wind and sky are usually more of the masculine and the upper tier of the hexagram, and these are sort of flipped where earth is above and sky is below. So it's really trying to bring a lot of beautiful balance, and something about this really makes the earth energy, so the yin energy, a little bit more in control here. And so the shadow to watch out for when dealing with that right-brained, which is a beautiful thing, and I am much more right-brained than left-brained, so I can relate to generally, not necessarily for this month, but what this card talks about is this potential to get trapped in identification with certain alchemical processes due to memories that are coming up. So we might have these beautiful, mystical, spiritual experiences that the alchemy happening within us might have us having more alchemical memories rather than real memories. So this thing of like, I really feel like a I'm trying to think of like a god right now, or a goddess, and there's some fantasy we can get trapped in identifying with things like that. And how we move past that is trying to really stay in the present, because the present is unlike going into the past or the future. The present is really hard to identify with. Whereas if we look to the past, we can identify with things, or if we look to the future, we can identify with things. And there's something about this energy where we really need to not be too identified with things, because they have the potential to trap us in fantasy, where it's really hard to take the beauty and the magic that we're seeing and feeling and grounding it and manifesting anything out of it. It just becomes whimsical, which is fun if you want to indulge in that to an extent and you understand that you're in that. That's, I think, okay. But if you're really trying to manifest certain things, and you're really overly identifying with certain things that are a little bit magical, and things are not getting traction, they're not manifesting, this is the time to really step into the present, where it's much harder to identify here. And in this present, really tapping into that yin understanding of life as cyclical. And so being able to see in any moment where a structure is because of an ability to identify a cycle that is, fluid. It's not static. So we don't like identify with it and stay there. We just identify that this is a moment in a cycle. Hence, this is where I can put certain magical feelings and dreams and wishes. It needs, that energy needs a structure around it in order for the magic to root in and manifest something in our life and bring that harmony that brings flow and just that feeling that like life is unfolding in a very magical way. We really have to be in the present for this, and we have to identify the certain structures that are a little bit more cyclical rather than static in order to utilize those to place these fantastical feelings and memories we're having so that we don't identify with them. We put them somewhere and use them and let them go and not hold so tight to them. So I hope that helps you to understand maybe some of the undertone around you. It can be really beautiful. And just to know that if you're really trying to manifest something and you're struggling to ground it, step into the present. If you're not necessarily trying to manifest anything and you're having fun in the magic and the fantasy, that's fine too. It's just not much will manifest in that mode. Okay, we are going to look at now your personal energy, so how you might be associating with this and the best way to interact with this for your energy this month. And you've got Stingray, so this gives me a hint that you will have a much better feeling month if you are able to stay more in the present, because to me the Stingray is really wanting to manifest things. It's really wanting to stand up to life and say, hey, look, I can do things. I can bring my dreams and my wishes into fruition. I am strong enough. I have the courage. I have the fortitude. So this to me is a deeper call to you guys to try and stay in the present and to identify those cyclical structures that come around, and as places you can channel your magical feelings into to help move and ground things, and then let go and let magic happen instead of trying to hold too tight to these fanciful, whatever types of things going on within you and around you. Let go of them, be in the present, let the present move, let cycles move. I think you're really going to find your ability this month to understand how to work with your dreams a little bit better and make dreams a little bit more manifest. Okay, from the spiritual realm, we want to see a priestess of light that wants to come through and be of assistance to you, which may give us a clue of some other things going on. And we've got twin flames, soul partner, eternal connection. So beautiful. So maybe some relationship stuff coming through. If you're single, it might be a really beautiful month to put yourself out there. If you're with someone, just try to amp up that romance a bit. And again, tapping into this, the potential for deluded thinking this month. If you have intention and are fine with deluded thinking and you're just wanting to experience it for the sake of it, fine, as long as you're aware. But if you're wanting something real to happen and you're really wanting that romance to actualize and to go somewhere, I think this is a challenge for you to maybe notice, like, there is a soul connection. Maybe this is a twin flame, but don't hold on to it with these crazy expectations. Let it be natural. Let it unfold and surprise you. Don't try to project your fantasies onto this. Let it surprise you. Let it unfold in a way where you don't have expectations for what this is. And try to let go of those moments where you feel like maybe this is a soul person or a twin flame. Let it sit in you and then let it go, and see how that might move things in just like a really beautiful, interesting way. Okay, we are going to look at sort of the 4 directionals of life to get just a general vibe of what's going on in the 4 corners of life, the 4 directions. And then we will do some tarot cards to see what Spirit wants to really push through as focal things this month. Okay, so the first direction is sort of the direction of what's motivating you. Where is your drive coming from? What's giving you kind of energy this month? And this is teamwork. And I know specifically in this deck, teamwork means aligning with mind, body, soul. So it's an internal teamwork, getting all of these things in line. But I think it's okay to also think about this as collaborative too. So maybe really get in line with yourself. What do you want? What does your heart want? What does your mind want? What does your soul want? Try to do some work on any tensions between those things and find some common ground and alignment there, and see how that might lead to some beautiful energy that you're feeling of wanting to put into more like collaborative things as well. Okay, the next direction we're going to look at, in what way do you need to tend to like self-care in your soul this month? Boundaries. And this card says, in what specific area of my life am I lacking boundaries? What might be possible if I learn to protect my energy and honor my needs? Is there something or someone I need to say no to? In creating boundaries, am I making room for healthy and life-giving relationships? So this is giving even more clue to me about the importance for you this month of really staying in the present, because some of this kind of fantasy energy that's sort of around you could have your boundaries a little bit dissolved and thinking in ways that aren't very based in realism. Again, which is fine if you're aware of it and okay with that. But if you are looking for like growth in relationships and real things to happen, I think holding really strong boundaries, because this talks about this being something that could actually enhance the health of relationships. And then we see this twin flame thing coming through. I think some of that boundary also needs to be with you and your own projections, potentially, with relationships. And again, just staying in the present moment, responding to what happens in the moment, and not trying to attach past memories or future associations to things, and just being present, and hence knowing in every moment what your boundaries are, and really establishing healthy flow and proper harmony with things. So this one might be very important because we've touched on so much of this relational energy. This is the energy you're going to be having generally in your relational energy this month. And this says 4th chakra, which is the heart chakra, which is so beautiful. And this says the energy of the heart chakra supports our inner guidance system, which is governed by our heart and the capacity to love deeply. Wow, we're getting so many clues here that, yeah, your heart is just really resonant right now, and I think drawing things in. And I think you need to find that balance of realism and idealism not too much of either, finding that perfect flow and really just being present in the moment with it and not getting too attached to things being away, not being too attached to past or future, just being and responding the way your heart guides you to in each moment, in each circumstance. Okay, the last sort of directional is outer world. So what kind of responsibilities, what is this going to feel like, career, work, positions in the world, what you're aspiring to, things you're trying to master. Oh, beautiful, and blessings here. I mean, this is just such gorgeous energy with harmony, blessing. I mean, magic is all around this, and it's just up to you to know how you want to use that. If you just want to indulge in some fantasy, have at it. If you really want to anchor things in and manifest and create some magic in your life, really being present to the moment, but just some gorgeous energy here. And I would encourage you, with things we've seen, to find that balance point between idealism or fantasy and then realism, and just and that being in the present moment being that sweet spot, because things really can manifest magically for you this month and flow and really open beauty in your life in a way that maybe you haven't had in some time. So yeah, just really take advantage of this. This is such beautiful energy coming through. Okay, let's do some tarot cards to see other things that Spirit wants to bring up, whether it's adding context to things we've already talked about or bringing in things we have yet to touch on. We'll see what happens. And we're going to use the transparent tarot now, so we'll look at each of these cards on their own, but then we can also then layer them and get a different image of its own too. So we got 7 of Wands. We're going to pick 5 of these. 3 of Wands, a lot of creative, fiery energy, which we've seen with the flame here, the backbone with the stingray, Queen of Swords. Yeah, finding your boundaries. I do think that's important. Really owning your boundaries. Oh, we've got 2. And then the Hierophant and the Page of Wands. Look at all those Wands energies. Really beautiful. Yeah, I mean, I really do think that you're trying to manifest some things in your life right now. So being present in the moment is like a huge takeaway of just staying present. You may be entering into some sort of competition this month, either literally or figuratively. There might be some competition around you, or you might intentionally enter some sort of competition, and you have like a winning edge around you. You have you have a lot of heart coming through. We're also seeing with the stingray, it's this month you're really going to find your courage, and I think certain things are going to come up in your life that sort of push you to act through your courage, to stand up to your potential and stand in your light and really show what you're made of. And I mean, I do think you'll have some winning moments if you can stay present, as we've talked about so much, not to keep repeating. If you can stay present and stay assertive as well, I think you're really going to find some winning moments. And I think you're really going to drop into a recognition of the decisiveness and fortitude that you have within you, and really finding that inner courage to claim what you want, to decide what it is that you want, to be intentional and ask for what you want, move towards what you want, and just make really good decisions for yourself. Also seeing that there is potentially some good advisors around you, whether those are friends, therapists, teachers, whatever resonates for you. There are some people around you that have wisdom that can be very helpful to you. And just looking at the actual image of the Hierophant in this deck, I feel like these particular kind of wisdom sharers in your life this season are ones that are really helping to keep you somewhat grounded and in that harmonious, perfect balance spot of being present, and not too pie in the sky fanciful and not too down in the gripping the ground with realism and logic. You know, it's that perfect middle place where you're grounded but reaching, where you're growing in all sorts of directions, where you just make life expand in a dynamic, multifaceted, beautiful way. There's beautiful wisdom coming in for you this month around this. So watch for it. It could even come through a book or a movie. It doesn't have to be an actual person that's physically in your life. And then this last card, we have the Page of Wands, which is just sort of underpinning this whole thing. Excuse me, I just need a sip of water. Who is showing that there is like a new revival coming into you of like really feeling your creativity and feeling alive and going back to the anchor card about your drive and energy being all about finding your alignment. We see that with the tree, and I'm feeling that with this Page of Wands energy. It's like you're really getting in alignment with yourself and what you want. You're making decisions, you're taking action, and it's really making you dynamic and energetic and feeling revived and refreshed around passions and creativity and courage and leadership and whatever it is you want. So really beautiful. Let's put these all together for a last little thing to see any other image that might come through here. It's a little hard with 5 cards. It gets a bit convoluted here. I mean, I love that this queen is like right through the center of the trunk, and then this fire is right at the center as well. And we've talked a lot about finding your alignment, finding your ability to stay present in the moment. It does seem like everything is trying to pull you into a centering, pull you into your presence, and really ignite your courage and ignite some growth and some manifestation and some magic in your life. And I love seeing that flame like right at the top, and then 5, it's right under this number 5, which is not from its own card. It's saying that you can really alchemize some things and create some beautiful change in your life this month. So yeah, gorgeous. I did want to, let's see, I lost my other deck. Where did it go? Hold on one second. Okay. I thought I would add in just one feather message as well to end the reading. And I just forgot to get that deck out and ready, but here it is. Okay, so just a parting message, a little winged feather angelic type message to end the reading on We've got Blackbird, the magical and unique qualities of your untapped potential are unfolding now. I feel like that's so perfect for what this reading has been about. So yeah, I'll just let those words speak for themselves, and happy February, pile one. Best of luck with creating magic in your life and really finding your backbone, your courage, and your own particular light. So all right, if this resonated, the easiest way you can support me is just a simple thumbs up. And I also love reading little comments, those are fun, as well as definitely subscribe if you are not yet. All right, I'll see you guys in readings in the future. Hello, pile two. Welcome to your February reading. You guys picked the 12th hexagram, Standstill, sky above, earth below. So this card represents your kind of environment, the tone, the atmosphere around you in this month. And this is a very interesting hexagram. It has some challenges with it. It has a pretty difficult shadow to deal with. But with the most difficult shadows comes some of the greatest rewards if we can work with this energy and pull ourselves from any shadow of this energy to the gifts of the energy. So the shadow of Standstill has a lot to do with vanity, and it's this place of really finding an appreciation for self and a love of self and a love of your uniqueness, but at the same time this trap of maybe falling in love with your own image type of thing. And if that doesn't quite resonate with you as a shadow that might be kind of being felt going into this month, there's also this association with sort of personal integrity, and part of going into that shadow and into some vanity is to really find within you what your integrity is, what you love about yourself, what you love about who you are, your talents, your skills, and finding a way to have integrity to that. But the challenge comes because when we're in this mode of really this self-focused place of loving, it can create some damage externally, and it can create some self-sabotage as well, with, you know, like maybe a somewhat closed off heart. And the challenge here is to open your heart and to trust the heart to lead and to start to find some discrimination in your life about falling in love. So this moves love towards things outside of you, falling in love with other things, finding love for other things outside of you, and in particular, really noting how other people and things and circumstances make you feel. And so developing this discrimination of really opening your heart to and falling into love with things that make you feel loved. So it's sort of shifting this lens, and by doing this, you're really connecting to authenticity in a much bigger way, and really being able to tap into truth behind how things resonate in the world, and really being able to have a lens for what is authentic. which gives this gift of art and language and composing. There's something that comes alive in that, and it's this appreciation of true art not being about how good of a technique something has in its art and its expression and its language, but in the authenticity behind it. And so I don't know if you've ever seen a piece of art or heard a piece of music where you're like, well, that's like not Mozart, but there's something about it, and it's just beloved, and it's because there's an authenticity there. So this is a month of really deepening into this energy of really understanding authenticity, but trying to move it away from such a self-focus to how things in the outer world make you feel, and falling in love with those things, which is a really beautiful journey to take, in my opinion. But there is the warning here of getting stuck in vanity, and that creates a standstill and a self-undermining of life. But the energy behind it, of what's there, of where that can move to, is just extraordinary. So, push towards that, fall in love with things this month. Really see how that helps you to see what's authentic, and see how you can develop your lens of discernment about, how things make you feel, and so what your heart allows you to love. Okay, we are going to now look at your personal energy. So this is sort of the atmosphere around you, and then we'll look at your personal energy, which might give us more clue of how this month is going to go, what's happening. And you've got Lizard, which is an animal, particularly in this deck, that knows how to dream things into being. So yeah, with this potential in the atmosphere of the month of really being able to understand authenticity and behind arts and language and the resonance of things, and how you fall in love with things, I think that you might be able to dream about those things and really create dream things to life. Really dreamy energy. The first pile had very dreamy energy too, which is really interesting. I'll have to look at the astrology and see what's going on there, because I haven't seen that in the charts, that something's happening. But the challenge here is to source your dreams from falling in love with things outside of you, I think, is the challenge of this month. One thing, to love yourself and have appreciation for what's really authentic and integral within you, but then seeing how much amplification happens in your life in a beautiful, dream-like, artistic way when you source that from what makes you fall in love outside of yourself. Okay, we're also going to look at a Priestess of Light to see what kind of spiritual guidance wants to come in for you this month, hence giving us even more context around things that might be going on this month. Calming the waters, peaceful self-regulation. Yeah, so for me, I think that there is something about opening your heart a little more here and paying a little bit more attention to what you can fall in love with outside of you into the world. And I think that doing this will take a lot of charge and energy from within you that's not going anywhere, but then can kind of create some self-sabotage, to opening up and really recognizing what makes you feel peaceful What do you fall in love with outside of you that makes you feel peaceful? And there's something about that, about finding that discernment, letting certain things in, really falling in love with certain things in the outer world from you, and finding the discernment of the things that make you feel good, that bring more loving vibrations and authenticity into your life. And something about this is really going to, and I think you're getting some guidance here, but something about this is really going to help you with some self-regulation that feels important right now, and more maturity coming in here of recognizing how to find some peace and self-regulation by falling in love with things that love you back, kind of thing. Okay, we are now going to look at some quick general energies around the 4 anchor points or the 4 directions of your life. So starting with the energy around what's giving you motivation this month. Where are you finding energy? What is the quality of your energy? And you have manifest. So beautiful. And I think, there's really this capacity to dream things into life, but I do think it's like you really need to source that from what you fall in love with outside of yourself. So really plug into the arts, really plug into noticing authenticity and expression in language and art and whatever in the outer world, and use that as sourcing for what you dream about, hence begin to manifest. But I think there's something about coming outside of yourself and really opening your heart to the world that's going to help certain things manifest. But I think there's an energy and a drive in you to manifest this month. So that's, some hints of how to really engage that positively. Okay, we're going to next look at in what way do you need to tend to some self-care and nurturance and tenderness this month. Ritual. Ritual is creating a sacred experience to honor my journey. In ritual, I usher in a new season while celebrating the path I have forged. Has there been a breakthrough moment in my life that I can honor and create ritual for? Today, I will bless the experiences that have shaped me with a physical practice. Try declaring an intention as you enjoy a flower-petaled bath. And I think this is a beautiful insight into something you can do to really tend to that lizardness that is in your personal energy this month. Certain rituals that can get you into maybe, choose your own ritual and whatever is resonating for you. But something about dream time is coming through here. What can really put you into dream time? And think about using other people's arts that you're resonating with, music that you can fall in love with, art that you can fall in love with, poetry, things that have been created by others or out in the world. Create a ritual around reading poetry, around listening to a certain artist, around things, a ritual around falling in love with things outside of you that you really connect with the authenticity of, to help source your dreams and get into a dream space. Okay, next we're going to look at what kind of resonance in general you have, which I think is going to be important this month for you. What resonance do you have in relationship out in the world? How are you relating to others? And we've already talked about this being important in terms of really finding a new appreciation for discernment and discrimination in authenticity in what others do, and being able to fall in love with things coming from others that feel resonantly very authentic. And we've got abundance here. The energy of abundance activates our ability to manifest the wealth we need and the sense of fulfillment that comes from a heart and soul that are overflowing with love and gratitude. Yeah, and I love seeing this. It's a clue that you're already maybe working somewhat positively, moving past any shadows of vanity. of your heart being open and feeling an overflow of like connection and love with others, which brings gratitude, which brings abundance. So beautiful to see. That's a very good sign. Okay, the last sort of directional or anchor point is like what's the energy generally around your place in the outer world. So career, position, schooling, any roles you have, responsibilities you have, things you're trying to master, etc. And you've got solitude. Beautiful. I think maybe it's a month where you are, you're trying to manifest new things. You're dreaming new things into being. You're falling in love, I think, with a lot of new things, and your heart's really opening to that. And so I think what you're trying to do in the outer world might need a step back to allow these things in and to integrate in these new dreams coming in with the lizard. And so a little bit of a step back maybe this month from your responsibilities to allow this new dreams, new energy, new things that you're falling in love with to kind of come into your life, really practice what it means to have your heart open and resonant with this kind of stuff, and allow some space and time for it just to resonate within you and then to integrate within you. And I think it's changing potentially something about what you want for yourself in terms of your place in the world or what you're reaching for. So take a little bit of a step back and give some space there, because I think there's some changes coming that will be coming in due to the work of this month. So really beautiful. Okay, we are going to switch over to some tarot now to see anything else that Spirit wants to, hold on one second. I've got a thing on my camera. Okay. Anything else that tarot or that Spirit wants to bring forward, whether it's adding context to stuff we've already talked about or bringing in some new thoughts. And this is the transparent tarot. So we're going to look at each of these 5 cards on their own, singularly, but then we're going to also layer them at the end to see if there's like another combined image that comes through. It's such a cool deck. I don't use it enough. Oh, look at these queens coming through. Ace of Wands, beautiful. Okay, so we've got Queen of Cups and Queen of Wands. We've got 5 of Wands. And then we've got the World and the Ace of Wands. Beautiful. Yeah, I mean, I think that you're really, and I'm even looking at this Priestess of Light, she seems quite regal and confident to me. And I think this is something you're coming into, is finding a new confidence with your creativity and your emotion. And I love that symbolism of the Queen of Cups really does know how to open her heart. So I think you're finding some real, gifts within the energies this season and really commanding them and really knowing how to come into them and use them in more of the gift way versus the shadow way. And finding inspiration, really, falling in love with things, finding new charge within you. Hence a certain sense of command and courage and willingness to hold, responsibility and to hold just confidence in general. And the queens do have the potential to have some vanity there, but I think with the Queen of Cups, it feels a little curbed to me because that is a queen that's very heart opened. So just stay with that. If things feel bumpy, like this says, calming the waters, if the waters are not feeling calm, try to take a look at if you are putting too much of your love energy towards self. Self-love is beautiful, but in a vain way, or if you need to start finding things to love outside, fall in love with outside of you. And I think that will help you to balance that command and regality and confidence that you have the capacity to do a lot of good with and create a lot of beauty with. And then the 5 of Wands is showing that it's definitely, I think the first part of the month, you're maybe putting together some creative strategy, thinking things through, creating plans, really feeling that new energy come up in you of creativity, new dreams, but being responsible like a queen would be to kind of think it through, be thoughtful about it, create some structure and steps and goals around this instead of just charging in. And then we see, and I don't know why I'm reading this a little bit as a progression, but I am. And I feel like end of the month, it's sort of like your world just really opens up and a new creative power is just really emanating from within you. And I think like I'm really getting this picture. It's like something's landed in you that you really come to understand this month, that really ups your level of both maturity but ability to feel harmony in life and beauty in life, of that ability to fall in love with things outside of you versus just really loving yourself completely and not much outside of yourself. I think there's just, and I'm not saying that that's you completely. I just think there's something of this moment that you're learning. You know, we all have vanity. We all, there's just something in this month that you're learning things about this and the difference it makes to turn that vanity towards falling in love with things outside of yourself. And it just amplifies that love that generates within you even more than general self-love. Okay, let's put these all together. But you're like really coming into a power with this, really finding your power in this, and like these aha moments of like, oh, okay, I get this. Okay, with 5 cards, it's a little complex. I'm just seeing an old sense of self honestly burning away and like really getting a new way of creativity, of love, of like something new is swirling within you because you've kind of burned away an old version of your heart, of how and what you love and what you understand about love, and just something has really blossomed and it's really settling in you and widening your life due to this new lens of how to love. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, we are just going to end on a feather message, just a quick, sweet message from Spirit, from sort of, I like to think that the birds bring messages from the angelic realm, so a feather message, hence angelic message to end off on. And we've got Canary. Step forward now and sing your song. There is power in finding your voice. Oh, I love that. And it just adds to this that as you fall in love with things outside of you, I think you even more so find your voice within you as you turn love, the lens of love, towards things external to you, your self-love and your ability to use voice with authenticity and art and expression with authenticity just unlocks and just opens up, and you really find your voice through this. Beautiful. I love this reading for you guys. Happy February, and this is where I'm going to leave off. If this resonated with you, the easiest way you can support me is just a simple thumbs up, and definitely love little comments if there's things you want to say, and for sure subscribe if you're not yet. All right, I'll see you guys in readings in the future. Hello, pile 3. If this is you guys, you picked card 48, the well, water above, wind below. So this card in the monthly reading is representing sort of the environment for your month, or the atmosphere. What are the kind of circumstances surrounding you, the tone around you? And this is definitely a card that I would say it's sort of a month where you're going to need to slow down a little bit in order to give yourself time and space to go into your hidden depths. This is a month where some things may come up around that kind of push on, ignite, trigger certain fears you hold that, we all sort of develop our emotional or astral body during childhood, and we all get wounds from that through the way that our parents or caretakers hold their own emotional or astral body. And this is the place where we develop a lot of fears and a lot of feelings of inadequacy around, specific things. We develop in beautiful ways in some emotional terrain and develop feelings of inadequacy and fears in other terrain. And this is a month where those fears and those inadequacies may get triggered. And the way to work with this is to, instead of repressing these fears, which can make you feel or come across as a little bit bland, or you can react to them, which can make you sort of play off of other people's fears and really make the realm of other a bit impersonal, detached from having emotion around other. And the way through this is to sit with your fears, to deepen your bucket into the well of who you are, to find your resources, to find those answers, because anything that you feel inadequate about and fear around is arising from something that's already within you. You have the resource to deal with it, and it just requires you to sit with it and to lower down into yourself, or as a metaphor, lower the bucket into the well. And this is where, even though it's dark and scary and we don't know what's down there, we always pull up water that's cleaner and more settled, and we find the resource we need when we sit with the fear and we go into the fear, and we develop a new resourcefulness and we heal some of these things within us. So it's a beautiful month where you can really heal some fears, find new inner resources, and find new sense of adequacy, or overcome certain areas where you've felt inadequacy and seen the illusion of what that was, and really deepen and develop. It's challenging stuff, but really powerful core developmental things that you can go into and do some healing with, and find that resourcefulness and that trust of life as well. Okay, so we are going to now look at the energy generally for the month that you will be carrying, to see how the interaction may, what the interaction is here. Yeah, oh my gosh. This is so on par for how I'm feeling about this card for you. The shark is all about confronting what is down in our depths, of finding the courage to confront our fears, to confront those big things. I really think both things within you and things without you are mirroring each other and really asking you to confront certain fears. And you are going to do it. I feel like you have this courage, you have this determination, and this, I don't know if something's been going on in your life where you're just like, no more, like I've got to get a hold of this and I'm done feeling this way or having this fear or feeling inadequate in this area. I'm just done with it and I'm just ready to see and figure out what this is about. And so it's like you've got the psychology this month of like, I'm going down the well. I am confronting this. I'm going to see what is there. And so you will come out of this month, because of this interaction of your energy and the atmosphere around you, so much stronger and feeling shark-like you've gotten a hold of your fears and nothing is your predator anymore. Like you've conquered this. Really, really cool to see. So it is a month where you're going to need to give some space to confront some things, to go deep within yourself. So it's not a month of moving forward, but moving down and inward and really getting to the root of some things. And I think you will get to the root of some things, and you will develop more trust, more resourcefulness, and more understanding of illusions of any inadequacy that you've been feeling and really wanting to overcome. So not easy, but really, really productive, potent month, I think. Okay. We are also going to look at a priestess of light. So the kind of spiritual guidance that's wanting to show up and be there for you in February, which might give us even more clues about your month ahead. And you've got hostilities, conflict, unrest. So some of your fears, some of your inadequacies, some of these things that are triggered that you're wanting to confront may have to do with your relational realm. And there is some spiritual guidance and energy around you that is really going to help guide you through this. Really understand how hostilities develop in your life, how conflicts develop in your life. What is the fear underlying some of this that might have some correlation and causation here? But some beautiful guidance coming in to really illuminate some of this for you and point the way of where to deepen and how to deepen and what to deepen about. So trust that. And that's something that you're really going to get to, into the depths of and really understand on a much, much deeper, more powerful level and heal some aspect of this. Okay, wow. This is quite a month for you guys. Okay, so next we are going to look at what I call the 4 directions or the 4 anchor points of life, just to get a little bit of a snapshot of the energy around all of these. So the first thing is around self. Where is your drive coming from? Where is your motivation coming from? What is the quality around your energy. And you have the compass. So you're seeking, it is, you are feeling driven to seek, to find direction with this, and that direction is inward and into the depths, downward, inward. that is your compass, and you're very driven by this. You have a lot of motivation for this, and a lot of, you will find more energy within you if you follow that impulse and drive and passion to go inward and downward to the depths. Okay, I think an important one for you this month, because of how intense this is and how much you're confronting some pretty big things within you, is this next direction and anchor point is about what kind of self-care do you need? How do you need to nurture yourself? What tenderness do you need to find in life this month? Lead. In what areas of my life is it time to take initiative? What values do I embody as a leader? How would stepping out in this way impact my world? I will no longer play small, and I will boldly take steps toward creating the change I desire for myself and others. So I love this as the thing that's nourishing you is like really just being in your sharpness and really being assertive, really confronting the things and taking initiative in this, going into your depths to understand where certain fears have come from. Exactly. It's like you will no longer play small. And I feel like that's what your shark energy is about. I will no longer play small. And in the shadow of this feeling of inadequacy or fear, one of the things that's talked about is when you repress that, you become a little bit, and I think I already said it at the start, so you could listen to that. That's just when I was first talking about this card too, is like you become a little bit dull or a little bit like the sheep or the follower. And I think you're done doing that. You're done playing into certain fears you have and repressing them and just being, going with the flow instead of facing the fear. And I think you really want to step up to find trust in yourself and in your life, and really shed any kind of inadequacy about being able to be bold and a leader and courageous and big in life. And I think, you're going to do some big work around this month. So really, really potent stuff. Okay, next direction or anchor point is the energy around your relational quality this month. How are you resonating with others? How are you relating with others? Be it romantic or platonic, it doesn't matter. And you've got the 6th chakra. The energy of the 3rd eye chakra supports our inner sight and intuitive abilities. So you're really stepping into relating with others through having a lot of trust in yourself and trusting your own knowing, trusting your intuition, which is maybe where some of the fears have hidden, have buried themselves in you, of trusting in the relational domain. So with this hostilities card, that was a clue that there could be some relational things going on with fear. And I think you're really stepping into this, like, understanding that when you relate with others, how you let others in, the boundaries you hold with others, the openness you hold with others, how you connect with others, instead of letting them take the lead or playing off of letting others dictate how things go, like really being able to be present to your intuition and your inner knowing and respond to that, and be much more of a co-creator in your relationships rather than sort of just a receiver of whatever comes type of thing. Okay, last directional anchor point is sort of your outer world responsibilities. So it could be career, schooling, anything you're trying to master. Where do you hold responsibilities and authority, or working towards authority? And you've got opportunity here, which is really beautiful. And I love the purple being picked up again with the 6th chakra. And I think that you're building off of that new trust of yourself in how you relate, and like letting that flow into how you take up space in the world, and feel the courage to lead. I think you're going to have leadership opportunities, and you're going to see how you're able to kind of rise above hostilities and conflict, because you've gone into some kind of fear that's at the source that is creating these in your life. And it's just like opening up new doors, opening up new ways of seeing, opening up new ways of trusting yourself, hence the world. Really beautiful, really, I mean, this is a huge month for you guys. I'm not like, you know, sometimes you read a pile and you're like, I don't know, it sounds cool, it could be a big month, but it's hard to tell. This is like, there's no question, like this is a one of those months you're gonna look back on and be like, wow, that was a turning point for me. I really got in there that month, and it really changed some things for me. So don't sleep on it. Okay, next we are going to look at some tarot and just get any other messages from Spirit that you know, whether it's adding context so it's already been brought up, or things we haven't touched on that it wants to make sure we get to. And this is the Transparent Tarot, which is a deck I wish I used more. I always sort of forget about it, but it's one of my favorites. So we're going to look at each of the cards, each of the 5 ones that we pick, sort of on their own face value, but then we're going to layer them at the end and see if there's, you know, what comes through as like a full different layered picture as well. Yeah, okay, so I love what I'm seeing here. Yeah, like you have absolutely been, I don't know if this is generally for you. I want to say to some extent it is, because we're talking about childhood development stuff. But minimally lately, I think you've been suffering from some anxiety, some getting trapped in your own head, you know, like really turning your fears on things in your life. And so having a quite alive imagination around you know, putting a lens of fear onto everything, of anxiety and fear and illusion onto everything, like what you have been seeing and experiencing is mostly of your own making in your own head, through like sort of an anxious disposition, that there's a fear underlying this that's at the root of why you're doing this. And you're really taking, and it's showing that you are going to be taking the time this month, or this is a suggestion by Spirit at least, to take the time this month to give yourself time and space to sit with these anxieties, to see if sitting with them, meditating with them will help them settle enough that you can see under their surface what's causing it, where the fear is. So dipping that bucket into the well to go down into where the water is much more calm and settled and clean, and then pulling it up and seeing what's there, seeing where this is sourced from. Yeah, I really see you doing that work really diligently this month. And what comes from it is a lot of new hope, a lot of new understanding and belief in your future and trust in your future. And this work taking you from some turbulent feeling shores to much calmer shores, whatever that means to you, figuratively or literally. And you coming out of the month as this King of Cups, having really, really mastered in a new profound way something on the emotional level, really having healed something, feeling very strong, very confident, and very okay with the fear that you have and willing to be with it. Hence, really strengthening your resourcefulness and your trust in self, and really mastering this in a new, beautiful way. Really gorgeous, you guys. Okay, let's see what the combined image looks like, see if there's anything else that kind of comes out from that. Oh, I just see your heart completely opening up and just like a whole new trust and hope and belief in life and yourself, and really this moving on from repressing and reacting in any way, and just emanating, and a patience and a calmness and a vulnerability and a strength within you, because you've really learned how to go deep and what's in the depths and not to fear that. And so whatever you do in this work this month, you know you have the capacity and you know the method that works for you to do that to any new fears or inadequacies that come up along your path. Is like this new trust of like how to deal with these. You may even find like a counselor or a therapist that really helps you make some breakthroughs and that you'll continue work with. And just for some of you that feels pertinent, that there might be like a guide, a coach, a therapist, someone, counselor, someone with some guidance that can really help you with the methodology here, some tools here. Okay, to end this reading, I just want to pick a message from our feathered friends, which I always believe is from the angelic realm. So a feather message, hence an angelic message. And you've got Goose. Your dreams and desires are calling you to action. The journey begins today. And yeah, I mean, this is the shark. It's time to, and we saw that in the anchor cards that we had down earlier too. Like, it's just time to step up to this. You're done repressing anything. You're done playing small. You're done being a follower. It's time to step into your light, your leadership, and trust in yourself. And something happens this month where you really, really ignite this journey into, just healing some things that got imprinted on your emotional body when you were a child, that you're really getting and seeing and witnessing and healing this month. So wow, amazing reading, really powerful. Lean into it, take advantage of this, get into that work. You're going to end the month in such a strong place. So this is where I'm going to leave you guys. If this resonated, I always appreciate a thumbs up. It's the easiest way to support me. Little comments are fun as well to read if you have things to say, and definitely subscribe if you're not yet. And I will see you guys in readings in the future. All right, see ya. Hello, Pile 4. Welcome to your February reading. You guys picked card 49 or hexagram 49, Revolution, with Lake above, fire below. So this card is representing sort of your environment for the month, circumstances, events, general atmosphere, the tone around you. And it is a really, really potent card, and one that's very fitting for February, having Aquarius ruling the majority of the month, which I tend to relate to that energy of revolution. But let me get into the specific way in this card that it's interpreted. This is a month where some things and events may be around you that have you suddenly seeing ways in which it's like something's very normal. You see something that's very normalized in you that you've never really seen as an issue about your behavior or your point of view before. But you suddenly see, it's like a crack happens and you suddenly awake to something you've been sleeping on because it's been so normalized around the way you react to certain things. And I think it's going to be different for everyone what you wake up to, but there's certain patterns that you're all of a sudden going to just see so clearly that were just so ingrained that you never really gave a second thought to before, and all of a sudden you're going to be like, whoa, that is a very reactionary way to behave in these certain situations, or this certain thing always triggers me to have certain reactions instead of coming at things with like a response base. It creates a reaction in me, and I've never really been aware of that, and suddenly you become aware of it. And because of that awareness, it sort of like cracks a whole new way and a whole new lens of seeing open in your life, especially around a very particular area, again, which will probably be different for all of you, unless maybe something big happens this month in a movement that helps us unlearn and relearn something. But it might be more personal for the majority of you too, or it might be both. But all of a sudden you'll just it's like you come awake, like you're unplugged from the matrix suddenly about something, and you're like, whoa, I have always that's always the reaction I've had. I've never even really seen that it was a reaction. It was just this normal way of, processing this particular thing. And something about that new crack in your lens, and a new lens that you then replace it with, just broadens how you see a whole area, an avenue of your life, of life in general. And when that happens, we have to repattern certain things about us. We have to unlearn and then relearn a new way, and it creates chaos. It takes us out of a sense of order and into chaos. So it can be a whole bag of things. It can be exciting. There can be a lot of resistance to this. It can be destabilizing. We do have to be careful sometimes, because when we come into, out of order and into chaos, and if we're not so good with change, that crack that happens can crack us for a little bit and have us behaving in unstable ways if we're not really coming into this with awareness and consciousness and effort. So that would be the suggestion here with things pressing on you in your environment, and anything you wake up to is like stay with the work, stay present, stay aware, stay focused, find the tools you need that guide you through some unlearning and guide you through some relearning, so that you're not anchorless in this and kind of losing your marbles a bit. I trust you guys though, trust yourselves, you've got this. For a lot of you, it can just be very exciting. Sometimes when we wake up to something that we've always been asleep to, it can come with a lot of excitement to change life for the better, to see into our future in a very different way, and see how we can be a force for change in the world. And if it's something that's much more personal, see how this change can excite and stimulate something about seeing your future very differently in a much more beautiful, holistic, well way. So very interesting stuff. Aquarius season in general can do this same type of process. So the timing is right for this type of thing to go on. Okay, next we're going to look at what your personal energy is through this month. What is your vibe this month? And so how is this interaction playing out? Oh, like immediately what came up for me is like the sleeping bear waking up. This is the spring energy coming out of hibernation, something you've been asleep to. And I think it's really going to make you feel eager to see life in a new way, to see it like a new spring arriving. Because you've woken to something that helps you to see life very differently, and I think that's going to feel exciting to you, like the bear waking up to spring with new scents and new colors and new life, and hungry and eager to stretch and be out there and be alive again. I think this is going to feel very enlivening for you and really, really help you to see life with new color and new sensation, new perception, and really feeling new potential and new possibility, a real spring vibe within this. So I think that's beautiful to see for you guys. Okay, we're also going to look at a Priestess of Light card to indicate what kind of spiritual energy wants to come in and be a support and guide for you this month, which might give us other insight into the month. So sacred action, decisive focus. Yeah, just like the bear waking up and really feeling enlivened, I think that some spiritual energy is going to come in too, to really help guide you in ways and lead you toward things you need to understand and know, and people you need to connect to, that help bring you alive, that help give you an assertive feel and make those decisive moments, those revolutions. Sometimes when we wake up, we can decide to go back to sleep, just like in the Matrix. He has given this option to take the pill to go back to sleep or take the pill to wake him up. And I think some spiritual energy is coming around you to be decisive about this, to wake up. No, like, I'm not going to sleep on this again. Like, I'm awake to it. So really excited. It feels very exciting to me. Okay, we are going to now look at what I call the 4 directions of life, or the 4 anchors of life, and get and I love this. I just was thinking before I started this if I should replace the candle, because it felt like it may not last through this. And oftentimes when the candle goes out, it feels like something's ended. And in this case, it feels like a very good sign. Like, yeah, I'm done being asleep. I'm done with whatever I slept on, is sort of what that feels like. I'm done with that lens. I'm done with sleeping on this. I'm done with that kind of ingrained reaction that I see as having been inappropriate, but I didn't know better type of thing, or just wasn't, that kind of reaction maybe wasn't pushing my life forward the way it should move forward, whatever it is for you. But it's a good sign to me here. When it went out, how this reading has been going, it just feels like, yeah, I'm taking that pill to wake up. Okay, anyway, back to these cards. So directionals of life, the 4 anchors, and this very first one is sort of like, where is your motivation and drive coming from? What is the energy around this? Many thanks. So a lot of gratitude. So I think whatever you wake up to, you're going to feel a lot of gratitude about. It all feels so very, very positive. This could have gone in a different way that's a little like, how I touched on, sometimes it can really destabilize you. No, I think you're just, you get it. Whatever you wake up to, it's like you get it. You feel grateful for, you feel a new assertion coming through. And so this gratitude and finding some gratitude is what is feeding your energy this month, is feeding any motivation to move forward, to be decisive, to be action oriented, to shake things up, to wake things up. So plug into any time you feel gratitude, it's just helping to feed that energy and motivate you. Okay, so the next anchor point we're going to look at, or directional, is what kind of self-care do you need through this month? What nurturance, tenderness do you need? Clarity, that feels so accurate. I release my past mistakes and future worries so I can find clarity in the now. My inner vision is clear and is sustained by the healthy boundaries I create. I understand that knowledge is not synonymous with clarity, but clarity is always accompanied by peace. I take time to sit with clouded thoughts and decipher what needs to be filtered. So maybe what you're waking up to, maybe what this revolution is about on a more personal level, is something about your boundaries. Maybe you have this aha that hits like, oh, I have understood boundaries all wrong. I've not understood how to use my like something I think is waking up about clarity and your boundaries, and hence really feeling grateful about something clicking for you about this. Okay, next we're going to look at what your relational, generally the relational energy around you this month, how you're responding, resonating, relating in the world, romantically or platonically. Originality, that's so beautiful. It kind of ties into the whole Aquarian theme, revolution, originality. These are all Aquarian themes. So people coming to this pile may have important Aquarius either points in their chart or planets in their chart. So it feels very plugged into that energy. So this says the frequency of originality supports our capacity to be unique and original creators of unlimited possibilities in every moment. And I think that the way that you're connecting with others, hence just like generally resonating in the world, is sort of excitable, there's like a real collaborative energy there that's really bringing out your originality. It's helping you to see the way you think in a way that isn't the norm, but is really cool and great and exciting, and really being able to unleash this aspect of yourself because others are bringing it out of you, and maybe you're finding originality in others, and it's just playing off of each other, and it's in the meantime just waking you up and waking them up and waking everyone up, and it's just like really cool energy going on. Okay, the last of the anchor points is sort of like your outer world kind of position in the world, responsibilities in your world. So it could have to do with finances, career, school, anything you're training in to kind of master. Oh, gorgeous miracles. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that Aquarian energy, revolution, originality, the way it shakes things up in our lives and kind of ignites certain like impulses between neural pathways that maybe hadn't, sort of like a neurogenesis going on, like connecting neural pathways that haven't always connected, or just making associations that are different and unique from what you're used to, I think is just like such a positive and beautiful shakeup coming in that is making you see things differently and is creating these openings for miracles to come through, for how you see your potential in the world, where you can stand in the world, what you can be about in the world, how you can connect to the world. It's just like giving you a whole new connection to this, and hence ability, and feels like miracles happening, hence because of all of this. So wow, I mean, really, your reading has felt so much more energetic than the others, really excitable, really just moving and shaking and exciting. So yeah, fun month for you guys. Okay, we are going to look now at some tarot to see if there's any other context or extra other messages we haven't even seen yet that Spirit wants to bring through. So we're going to pick 5 of these transparent tarot. And I love this tarot deck, and I don't know why I need to use it more because I love it. But we're going to look at each of these 5 cards on their own, and then because it's a transparent deck, we'll then layer them at the end and see if there's like a picture that comes through that has, you know, any other insight. Okay, so you have 2 of Pentacles, 5 of Cups, ooh, 6 of Wands, Chariot, let's see one more, and 9 of Cups. Beautiful, gorgeous. I love this. Okay, so yeah, you are, I think what you're waking up to, so we have a 5 of Cups, which often indicates like seeing something that's haunting us, as well as walking away from certain things. And it coming out with the 2 of Pentacles, there may be things, ways you've held yourself out in your position in the world, or things that you're juggling that are adding a lot of pressure and responsibility onto your plate. There's something about this that I think has to do with what you're waking up to, where the revolution is coming. And we did see the Miracle card in terms of like that more career type oriented place, which felt poignant. So here it does feel like for a lot of you, whatever is happening could have to do with outer world things, either big things in the world generally, or your more personal position in the world. There's something you're changing here, and you're going to have whatever you walk away from and then decide to move toward, what you wake up to and newly kind of engage yourself with. It's like you're going to have immediate victories and movement, and really feel your soul invested in like deep alignment within you with it, and things just like go very quickly. And going back to that Miracle card, like this is the wish fulfillment card, like something happens lightning quick. You're catching lightning in a bottle. You're, waking up to something, making the decision to walk away from it, being very decisive about it, really shaking up, putting on a new lens, finding this new originality, new ways of seeing things, and like immediately hitting lightning in the bottle with something. I mean, that's what I see. It's pretty clear. So let's layer these and see if some other image comes through that's important. Oh, look at that. The 2 of Pentacles balancing the 2 horses. Yeah, I think you're going to start the month maybe slightly low because you're having to like walk away from something, or you've woken up to something that might be hard to digest or process. But like little by little, you just accept it and you take on the challenge, and then you charge forward, and you're ending the month with like serious horsepower. So going from this low place to, I mean, just transformation, honestly, just like, just feels like transformation to me, and really finding your path, your way, doing things your way, finding your path to do things your way, something about that. Okay, to end this reading, we are going to look at, I never know how to get these straight. Anyway, okay, that's my own OCD with, with the lines. Okay, to end, we are going to get a message from our feather friends, which I always feel like come from the angels. So a feather message, delivering an angel message. This one wanted to come out. Hawk, pay attention. A powerful message is being communicated to you now. Yeah, so this could be whatever you wake up to. It's like, someone else may come in with a message, or you may hear something or see something, but like, just be aware, be present in the world. There are messages coming through, and these are the things that are going to give you those aha moments, those awakenings that are coming. So they're being delivered to you, yeah, from the spirit realm. So, all right. Anyway, wow, exciting month, you guys. I'm excited to hear. I'd love if some of you came back at the end of February and left a comment if you remember. I'm sure you won't remember, but that would be fun to see how this actually went for you. All right, this is where I'm going to leave you. If this resonated, I always appreciate a thumbs up. It's a super easy way to support me, and little messages are great to read too if you have things you want to say, and for sure subscribe if you're not yet. All right, I'll see you guys later.